All right, guys, we are diving into the request bin today. We had another YouTube channel out there named Theology Together, which asked us to react to The Chosen. Never done that before.
Interesting, yeah. Tell me a little bit more about Theology Together, the channel that requested this.
I think they're just a growing YouTube channel that studies Christian theology.
Yeah.
The depths of the Christian doctrine, I guess.
And they asked us to react to The Chosen, the show, which is about Jesus.
Yeah.
And we're going to watch a clip from it and react.
All right, yeah. This one's titled, I Am the Law of Moses.
And now, for the reading and interpretation, we have with us Jesus Bar Joseph. He was one of my students in Torah class, and we've heard reports, some of them very positive, of his rabbinic journey. Jesus.
Thank you, Rabbi Benjamin. Peace. No, it's not easy to share in front of Nazareth's most preeminent rabbi, but I'll do my best. And I'm certain that if I miss a word or two, one of you at least will speak up, huh?
Oh, don't worry.
I wonder who it will be. A reading from the scroll of the prophet Isaiah. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and recovery of sight to the blind, to the opening of the prison for those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor.
Short and sweet.
The fulfillment of this scripture, as you have heard it, is today. This is the year of the Lord's favor. This is a year of jubilee, a year the poor, the brokenhearted, the captive, and the blind are offered redemption. Here, now.
We are with you. Keep going. Not bad for a carpenter's son, yes?
I mean, especially Joseph. May he rest in peace.
Jesus, please explain why you stopped the reading before Isaiah spoke of the day of vengeance of our God, especially during a time of such oppression.
The day of vengeance is in the future. I'm not here for vengeance. I'm here for salvation.
You're here for salvation. What are you saying?
You know what I'm saying. And this year of Jubilee, this year of the Lord's favor, is not about release from financial debts. I'm here to provide release from spiritual debt.
We're the chosen seed of Abraham. We don't have spiritual debt.
Jesus,
Yes, Aaron.
we've been hearing about the signs and wonders. And now this? Are you claiming to be more than a rabbi? More than even the baptizer?
No doubt one of you will quote me the proverb, "Physician, heal yourself." The things we heard you did in Capernaum and in Syria, do here in your hometown. Yes?
Why not?
I get it. It's always easier to accept hard truths and even greatness from strangers than from those you know well, especially those you knew as awkward teenagers or even as adults, as some of you saw earlier today. Laz here would make a more believable prophet. But this brings up an important truth. No prophet is acceptable in his hometown.
Be careful with what you call yourself.
This should be easy to prove. Dinah and Rafi, you say you saw it, yes?
Yes. Yes, we saw it, but he did not claim this.
A true prophet from Adonai would not deny his own people's signs and wonders.
Listen carefully. When a great famine hit Israel during the days of Elijah, 3 years and 6 months, there were many widows, yes? And we know how the Father cares for his chosen people, especially widows. But Elijah was sent to none of them, not a one. Instead, he was sent to a widow in Sidon, in Zarephath, a Gentile woman. Martha, what happened?
She gave up her last flour and oil for one more cake and gave it to Elijah.
Why would she do that?
Elijah told her the Lord said to do so.
Yes. The Lord said that he would make it so that her flour and oil would never run out. And she believed. A pagan Gentile in a pagan land. And she was hungry enough to know she needed God and to obey him. And so God sent Elijah to multiply her food forever.
Ooh. Gotta love Jesus stirring the pot. He was flipping tables even when he wasn't flipping tables.
I think that it must be said. That there is a family vacation resort that we go to every now and then where their towels look oddly like that traditional garb that you see.
Oh, jeez.
And sometimes when we're walking around at the resort, I like drape it over the things so the stripes are there.
Yeah.
Just for a little bit of style effect.
Oh.
I hope that's not offensive.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, what was I saying? I don't believe in anything. I'm saying, okay, so can I just, I'll sum up what I'm saying. I think that prior to Jesus' arrival on the scene, great acting, by the way, by that scribe or whatever he was, the guy who was like all offended and perturbed by Jesus. Good acting, you know. But I think what happened when Jesus arrived is that you had some really, like, what is it called when somebody's really into the rules, really into the system? Legalistic.
Yeah.
You had like a very legalistic people that were all consumed by these like ancient scrolls and everything. And the way I observed Jesus was a little bit more grounded in reality than that. And he was like, you know, for instance, somebody would be like, Jesus, we caught this guy collecting sticks on the Sabbath or something. You're not supposed to do anything on the Sabbath. And Jesus would say stuff like, well, the Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Yeah. And they'd be like, oh, you know what I mean? Like, he's breaking the rules. You know, Jesus was saying things that seemed to go outside the lines of this hyper legalistic and, you know, I guess could be argued somewhat corrupt even system. And then you get like peppered in there the suggestion that like, I'm the way, the truth, and the light. Also, the one that they've prophesied about. Yeah. I'm here. That's just how I see it, according to the belief of that, which was like recorded and sent down through generations of people passing these stories on. Yeah. That seems to be like what's going on.
I think there's lots of lessons within the scene that's taking so many things you could probably tackle and try to unpack. So I'll just pick one. And one is that in that scene, like, imagine yourself going into a church, a mosque, or a temple, and you've been fed a bunch of ideology or stories about how things are supposed to look and play out. And then someone comes into your world and in 1 second takes the thing that you've all like put your stamp on something of how it's supposed to go down, and it was like, yeah, you all got it wrong. This is actually fulfilled right now.
Oh yeah,
This is happening right now,
Yeah,
actually, by the way. And they're all like, what the heck? Wait, you can't say that in here.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like a lesson, like to like always be cautious about all the things you hold as like so solid and solidified, because it can be shattered in an instant.
It's so kind of adorable and charming that people like try to their best to get along with each other. Like they're like, there's a lot of religions that are like, we accept Jesus. We just think of him as, we don't agree with everything. We don't get it. Because, so that example that he gave was like, Elijah showed up to this woman that was a pagan heathen.
Yeah.
And he, and you can see people kind of like, but we're the chosen. You know what I mean? Like, let's all be civil here, but we are chosen. You know how many people, their backdrop of their thing is that they're their group, their tribe, they're this, they're that. Use your imagination, man. Insert the most thing cherished to you. Is that's the winning thing, and everything else that even interferes with that is demonic.
Yeah.
I do want to point out that was an excellent point that you made, like the idea that somebody could come along in the realm of that kind of interpretation of things and just flip it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so, when Jesus came around, it's like he flipped things over. He literally flipped tables.
Yeah.
And then they crucified him. And then the same type of people that would crucify him, I got to imagine throughout history, were the same type of people that were marching crosses across continents to spread the good news about Jesus. His battle. Put this cross on you, Jesus, out of mercy. Can't you see the love in me? You know what I mean? Like, if Jesus came today, would you recognize him? If he came in the digital cloud? If, that's not like a low-key coded thing to say anybody walking around earth is Jesus. No. I'm saying, would you recognize the person that came along? Because there's lots of them. There's lots of Jesus-type people out there that are saying something that flips your entire worldview on its head. And are you going to crucify them?
Yeah.
Are you going to I haven't even read the Bible, but I'm a Christian through and through. You know what I mean? And like go be stupid about it? Huh? Do not be stupid. Do not give way to stupidity. Be smarter than that. Be more detached than that. It's okay to be a historian. It's okay to indulge in whatever the hell you feel like indulging in, like with limits. Some things are more criminal and bad than others. But I'm saying just don't go believe in anything, because next thing you know, you're setting yourself up to some oddball to come in with fervor and challenge it. And they might have a point. They might have a point in challenging whatever the hell it is that you think is so rock solid. Yeah. That's what we're all looking around at Jesus. Yeah. That guy's like, I'm wearing the thing. I've dedicated my life to this. You know what I mean? We're in the temple of the scrolls. And Jesus is like, fold that scroll up. I'll say a little bit of the scroll, and guess what? Elijah's showing up to pagans and heathens and going up to prostitutes and there could be a new version of that, a new chapter. I find it so interesting that so many of the scriptures from a variety of religions are like, and this is it. No more words after this. Don't add anything. Anything else is evil. That's what they were doing before Jesus showed up. Yeah. They were like, no more. And then Jesus was like, nah, new thing again. Just watch out for those new things, and don't be so frightened of them, and don't be so ideologically possessed. Don't be a house full of belief ghosts that needs to be exorcised. Don't do that.
All right, we continue on.
Oh, we're not even done?
No. That's halfway through.
That's crazy.
What about Elisha and Naaman? There were many lepers in Israel during this time, but none of them were cleansed, except Naaman. Only a Gentile, a Syrian soldier, an enemy of the Lord's people. But he was so desperate, he trusted Elisha, and his leprosy was cleansed. You may be the chosen seed of Abraham. You may be the people of the covenants, but that will not bring you my salvation.
Snap.
If you cannot accept that you are spiritually poor and captive, in the same way that a Gentile woman and a Syrian leper recognized their need if you do not realize that you need a year of the Lord's favor, then I cannot save you.
So angry. So confused.
Who do you think you are?
This is what Hannah talked about. That he even called himself the Messiah.
Are you claiming to be the Messiah? Or are you merely claiming to speak for the Lord as a prophet?
Yes.
You are a false prophet.
Whoa, that is quite a thing to say.
Jesus, maybe we should leave. Lazarus, you're his friend. You cannot be involved. You know what the law of Moses is.
We are all his friends, Aaron. We cannot say things like this.
Jesus, stand up at once.
Rabbi, please. Rafi, come with Jesus and me. No. We will leave, and you can all continue the service.
Rabbi Benjamin has asserted false prophecy, and I cannot argue.
You said you saw the miracle.
He's saying only he can save
He
us.
did not use those words.
It's what I meant.
Jesus, you're not helping. Stop.
He's saying we are not the holy ones chosen.
Now, he did not say that.
In words, a book of Moses. But the prophet who presumes to speak a word in my name that I have not commanded him to speak, that same prophet shall die.
Rabbi Benjamin, I beg of you,
Not this.
Lazarus, it's fine.
Jesus, they're going to...
Yes.
Jesus, if you do not renounce your words, we will have no choice but to follow the law of Moses.
I am the law of Moses.
Jesus Bar Joseph, because you have repeatedly prophesied falsely and have offered no denial or renouncement of your blasphemous claims, there is no need to escalate this to the authorities. Do you stand by all that you said?
I think I was pretty clear.
Your father, may he rest in peace, was a righteous man. Your mother is a good woman. We take no pleasure in the shame you are bringing to their name, nor the grief this will bring upon Mary. But as from the law of Moses, whose life and words you have spat upon today, your sentence is death.
Rabbi Benjamin, this isn't going to happen. Not today.
Jesus is so cool. There's even an electric lyre playing when he was. I take it back. All the actors, well done.
Yeah.
All the actors, very good job acting. There's a young man in a church somewhere right now saying something that's causing a mob to gather around him and tell him he can't come back to the church. I've seen it. I've seen, you know, that reaction where they're almost crying. They're like, stop it. Yeah. I've seen that sort of thing. Like, you can't be saying this. Like when somebody's deciding, they're like, I'm not this anymore. I'm going to tell you something strange. And that's why I say there's some young lady or some young man or something in a church or some person of any age saying something that's dividing the congregation right now, and they became divided, and then say, you're going against what we, and look at the emotional reaction to that.
When you confront your ideology, I don't think it's always going to be as dramatic as depicted on here. This was pretty intense and like a bold upfront face to face with one's personal beliefs. But I think that I do think that it can be emotionally, you know, exhausting when you're going through it. Ask anyone who's probably gone through like a deconstruction period in their life. There's probably like
because we're a tribe.
Yeah,
we're a tribe here, and you're screwing things up.
Yeah, it can be emotional. So
hey, man, I even have some compassion. Imagine somebody you cared about came up and said like, "I'm gonna turn into a lizard."
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn into a full lizard. I'm gonna get my tongue split. And I'm gonna get my entire body scales added to it.
It messes with your reality, man.
I'm not trying to judge anybody that's actually made themselves into a lizard. I'm saying sometimes it can feel like such a radical change when somebody's like, I'm not doing that anymore. And you're like, this is what? What do you mean? You know what I mean? I'm going to join the circus. Yeah. Or whatever the thing is. I don't believe this, or I choose to live my life this way. Mm-hmm. To the group that's established the rules, they're like, what the hell, man? You're just trying to be an attention hog. And who knows? Maybe sometimes it is just a plain old attention hog. Give them more attention then. But I'm saying that emotional reaction, I've seen it. I've seen families divided. I knew a young guy, I worked with him. He became a new Christian. Yeah. He joined a church, and he was really like an odd young man age to join the church. Yeah. And the parental reaction was so strong. They acted as though he just said he was becoming something horrible. They were like vitriolic, like his parents who loved him were normal his whole life to him. Yeah. Just secular. Yeah. They couldn't believe that he was, what is this, a cult? What do you mean you're becoming a Christian? We're not a Christian home. And he would come to work, and you could see that it was like really like, that was emotionally difficult. He believes in God now, and his family's, and it can go this way too. You might be part of a church and you're saying something radical. You're saying, I interpret the scriptures differently. I'm seeing something different here. You know what I mean? And they go, fall in line. You know, where's your suit, by the way? And take that hat off. Or you wear a uniform to this thing. Or it's more subtle than that.
Yeah. You know? Yeah. Well, guys, let us know in the comments what you think about it, things that were said here. Hopefully you enjoyed our reaction on this. And if you did, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, share this with a friend, and everyone until next time, stay spiritual.